The fog clung to the coast like a living thing, swallowing every sound except the quiet crunch of boots on wet earth. A small team moved with the precision of shadows, each step rehearsed, each breath controlled. They carried nothing but a single package, wrapped tightly, whose contents could change the war. And yet, no one outside headquarters knew why it mattered. The enemy slept, confident, unaware that the impossible was about to unfold beneath their noses. At the center of this mission was a man history would ignore. A master of stealth, trained for every conceivable danger. He knew that one slip could end not only his life but the lives of everyone involved. His instructions were simple in theory, impossible in practice. Infiltrate, retrieve, and escape. The walls surrounding their target were alive with guards, cameras, and traps, each designed to catch the untrained. The first checkpoint came into view, a row of armed sentries scanning the dark. Each soldier froze, calculating timing, angles, and distances. Somewhere in the distance, a bell rang faintly. Was it the enemy or just the wind? The man's hand clenched the package, feeling the weight of history in its seams. He gave the nod, and they moved forward, ghosts in the night, the impossible already beginning. They slipped inside the compound, walls towering, corridors narrow, every step echoing like a drumbeat of fate. The man led, every movement deliberate, every pause a heartbeat in the silent symphony of danger. The team knew failure wasn't just death. It was the collapse of everything the Allies hoped to achieve. In one room, faint candlelight revealed maps and documents. A guard had been posted, but the shadows masked their approach. Timing had to be perfect. One wrong move would ignite alarms, draw reinforcements, and trap them inside with no escape. Sweat ran down his temple as he read the coded markings on the package. The intelligence inside wasn't just valuable. It could rewrite strategies, cripple enemy plans, and save thousands of lives. Footsteps approached. The man froze, heart pounding. The air was thick with tension, every second stretching into an eternity. Then, as if by magic, the guard turned away, leaving a narrow path. They advanced silently, retrieving the package, every motion calculated, every breath measured. The impossible was no longer theory. It was happening. Right here in the shadows of the enemy as they prepared to leave, the air shifted. The faintest sound, a whispered command, a shadow, moving slightly wrong, told them something was off. They had been trained for traps, yet nothing could prepare them for betrayal from within. One of their own hesitated, eyes flicking nervously to the package. The leader knew instantly. Someone had been compromised. Panic could spread faster than bullets, so he acted with precision. A signal, a subtle gesture, kept the team focused. The betrayer made a move, but the man anticipated it, intercepting the threat before it could unravel the mission. The tension was electric. The mission's success hung by a thread. Outside, the fog thickened. Escape routes were limited, and the enemy now alerted by subtle disturbances in the night. They moved, silent and deliberate, shadows among shadows, carrying the prize that could tilt the war. Every heartbeat counted, every decision irreversible. Once outside, alarms shattered the night. Flashlights cut through the fog, revealing silhouettes of enemy troops. There was no turning back. The chase began, a test of endurance, wit, and nerve. Gunfire echoed, but they moved with uncanny precision, slipping through narrow alleys, over fences, and across marshes. The man carried the package with care, knowing its weight was not physical but historical. One misstep, one stumble, and the entire mission could collapse. Behind them, soldiers shouted, orders barked, and dogs howled, but they seemed untouchable, ghosts in a world that barely noticed them. The fog masked their retreat, turning fear into an ally. By the coast, a small boat waited, engines silent, ready to whisk them away. The impossible had survived another minute, but every second brought new dangers. The water was icy, biting at their skin as they launched the boat into the black waves. Enemy searchlights swept over the shore, narrowly missing them. The man gripped the package, eyes fixed on the horizon, heart pounding with both fear and exhilaration. Each stroke of the oar brought them closer to safety, but danger remained. The mission had exposed them to everything: the elements, enemy patrols, and now the unforgiving sea. Waves crashed, rocking the small craft, testing their resolve. Yet, the team moved with unshakable focus, knowing that if they faltered now, the world would never learn what had been saved in silence. Hours passed in darkness until land appeared. They pulled the boat into a hidden cove, mud sucking at their boots. The package remained secure, undamaged, as if the night itself had protected it. But the enemy would not stop searching, and every noise could betray them. The man checked his team, each face tense, exhausted, yet burning with determination. They had survived the impossible journey, but the mission was not yet complete. Intelligence had to reach headquarters, decisions made, lives changed, and history recorded. Though no one would ever know their names in a safe house, the package was carefully examined. Coded documents, maps, and enemy plans spilled out, each item more critical than the last. The team worked silently, decoding and cataloging with precision. Every second mattered. Every error could destroy the fragile chain of trust that kept them alive. Messages were sent, carefully encrypted, to Allied command. This intelligence would shift strategies, prevent ambushes, and save thousands. Yet no medals would be given. No newspapers would celebrate their success. The world's ignorance was the price of victory. Even as the mission succeeded, the team could not escape its psychological toll. Each had seen the faces of men who would never return, heard the screams that echoed in the night, and felt the weight of what they carried. Not just the package, but responsibility for countless lives. They understood that war rewards only the visible acts, while invisible deeds, like theirs, often go unnoticed. And yet, in the shadows, heroes exist, making impossible choices so that others may live. Weeks passed. The information reached Allied command, altering strategies, averting disasters, and ultimately saving lives. Yet history books remained silent. No stories, no celebrations, no monuments bore witness to the deeds of men who operated in darkness, risking everything for a world that would never know their names. The man sat alone, staring at maps, haunted by what was lost and what was saved. The impossible had been accomplished, but the world continued, oblivious to the quiet heroes who shaped its fate. Years later, the fog of war settled into memory, leaving behind faint whispers of courage, sacrifice, and secrecy. The team disbanded, lives returned to ordinary routines, but history had changed in ways invisible to most. The mission remained a ghost story of the war, a testament to the bravery of those who acted where no one watched, risking everything for a world that would remain silent. The impossible was done, yet the world slept on, unaware of the shadows that had saved it. And in that silence, their true legacy endured, invisible but eternal.